everyone, and welcome to Before the Bell. I'm your host, Terrence Ward, as we take another look at an exciting episode coming to you tomorrow morning on CW30 Memphis, Arkansas's Radio Communications Tubetown, CBS Jackson, as well as YouTube Premiere at high noon. It is episode 68 of Memphis Wrestling. What an exciting few weeks we have seen on Memphis Wrestling. We've seen some great contenders for different titles, as well as the announcement for the Women's Gauntlet for Gold 2 that's coming up. Television taping will take place June 12th. That's this Sunday at 3296 Winbrook Drive in Memphis. I'm really excited. We're going to see a new women's champion crowned, and it's going to be an explosive tournament because all of the female competitors are top-notch. They are the best in the Mid-South, and they will be there competing for gold. But let's kick things off. Let's talk about what's coming up. You know, it is outlandish. It's going to be outlandish. Zicky Dice is here for the inaugural Memphis Wrestling Internet Championship, plus the crowning of our first ever Internet Champion. It's going to be crazy. You know, we have a lot of exclusive Internet matches, exclusive Internet content here on YouTube, as well as across other streaming platforms, including TikTok, where I'm actually live talking to some of our other friends and guests across the world of the Internet. Join us for live Memphis Wrestling again as we have the Women's Gauntlet for Gold 2, the Women's Championship match, June the 12th. Tickets available online at championshipwrestlingmemphis.com. And Memphis Wrestling returns that following Saturday to Black Rock, Arkansas, as K-Toomer takes on The Gun Show one-on-one to benefit the Black Rock Entertainment Committee. And June 26th, my birthday, by the way, we're going to be hosting a free AEW watch party for Forbidden Door at Dave & Buster's on Wolf Chase in Memphis. So if you are in Memphis and you want to watch Forbidden Door absolutely free, you can join us at Dave & Buster's on Wolf Chase. You're going to get a free gift card. You're going to get free wrestling, and you're going to get to chat with all of your favorites at Memphis Wrestling, enjoy some great food, some great drinks, and some great games. It's going to be exciting. We're still debating whether or not we're going to be able to be there. Hopefully, very soon, we'll be back at another AEW watch party. My wife and I, we've got trips coming up. I'll be in New Jersey the week before all of this. It's been a crazy month. But let's talk about today's card. Let's talk about what's going on with Memphis Wrestling. Our opening contest set for one fall. It's a non-title match as the champion, the Heritage Champion, Mike Anthony, takes on Carlos Alexander Rios. The new Memphis Heritage Champion is here, and he wants to fight. But let's take a look back as he spoke with Dustin Starr last week, had a message for Bret Michaels. But unfortunately, Carlos Alexander Rios is going to be stepping up to the plate to take on Mike this week. Let's take a look.
Clearly, Mike Anthony, the new Memphis Heritage Champion, is not scheduled to be here right now. But, champ, the floor is yours.
Wait. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. Did I hear right? Was this place chanting, Mike, Mike, Mike? Sorry, but my bandwagon is full. I told you months ago, I laid it out for all to see. You doubt it. Now that the prophecy has been fulfilled, now you want to chant, Mike, Mike, Mike. Save it. Now, Bret, I know you're coming. I know you're coming. Here's the deal. I'm not a hard man to find. In fact, I'll be the... Like I said, I won't be hard to find. Why? Because I'm the man that's holding the Memphis Heritage Championship.
Yeah, so Mike Anthony is pretty upset. He's not happy with Bret Michaels, and I don't know why. He holds the title. Bret is just trying to do what a former champion would do, and that's bring the gold back around his waist. But Mike Anthony is not going to let that title go for whatever reason. He is going to find a way to make sure he maintains that title. But here's what I want to talk about. Carlos Alexander Rios has been kind of under the radar on the singles competitor stage. However, if Carlos and Alexander Rios can gain a victory over Mike Anthony in whatever way possible, this not only elevates him on the rankings, but it enables him to be able to climb that ladder so much faster than those other single competitors who are trying to claw their way to the top. And even Bret Michaels, if he can get a win over if Carlos Rios can get a win over Mike Anthony, even though it's a non-title match, that's going to put Carlos on the map. He's going to have an opportunity to get the Memphis Heritage title. So tune in tomorrow, see what happens, find out. Will Carlos Alexander Rios be able to step up and take on the Genetic Nightmare, or will he fall victim and fall into a nightmare of his own? Tag team matchup is coming up following the singles competition that opens up our television taping. The Skimahorns versus Big Jack and Bruce. It is time to pay the price. You know, Big Jack, Bruce have been going around and kind of soliciting work in ways to almost a hitman style. I don't want to say doing any permanent damage to some of our people on the roster, but they're being hired to do the heavy lifting, to go out there and beat up their opponents, to make matches easier for those that that they're being paid for. But I don't know. Bruce and Jack are definitely some big guys and are gonna cause some problems for the Skimahorns. We know the Skimahorns, Brandon Breyer and Uncle Mikey, have really kind of started to turn a new leaf and to become some fan favorites for Memphis Wrestling. However, they can't let their guard down. They cannot let their guard down. They're former tag team champions. You know, the Big Jack and Bruce are tag teams as a tag team as well, but they are big guys. If they get a hold of the Skimahorns, it's going to cause a world of hurt for Brandon Breyer and Uncle Mikey. So they're going to have to use that agility, that quickness to stay away from the grasp, from the reach of Big Jack and Bruce, because these two have known each other a long time and they have been fighting side by side for a long time. So we'll have to see what happens there with that tag team matchup. And speaking of tag teams, before we talk about our next one, we're going to take a look back at a few episodes when we saw the LA Hustlers, who made their debut on Memphis Wrestling Television, take on Carter Matthews and Chris Hayes of the Country Rock Tag Team. Let's take a look and see what happened with those two as we left the show the last time the two encountered, and then we'll talk about what's going to happen next as they face each other on tomorrow's episode.
Take a look back at the action on instant replay. You see it right there.
They don't call them hustlers for nothing, Dustin.
Had a chain in his hand. Looks like one of the gold chains. And the people are telling the referee. You see Bradley's proud. Referee Ray Sanders trying to get to the bottom of this. But the match is over, ladies and gentlemen. Our big main event is coming up next. Ray Sanders, look at this. Maria, he found it. That's the chain.
But now what?
Ladies and gentlemen, per the official's decision, this win has been reversed. Your winners, Country Rock!
A little over modulation there on the microphone. Sorry about that. We need to get our audio issues fixed, so you will not hear that on the newest episodes of Memphis Wrestling. Seeing some comments there in the chat on Facebook. Thank you so much, Chase, for tuning in to Before the Bell as we're talking about Memphis Wrestling. Going back and looking at this match, we saw that the LA Hustlers, they cheated. They had a chain. They hit Country Rock over the head. They got the pin. But then the referee, who was listening to the crowd, saw what would happen, saw what they were trying to hide behind their back, took an opportunity to do some investigation. When he did, he found the chain, reversed the decision. Well, these two tag teams are back at it again after this controversial finish in their first encounter. And we're going to see who's going to win this rematch between Country Rock and the LA Hustlers. Who is going to take home that victory? Will it be a clean victory? You know, the LA Hustlers cheated. One, decision was reversed. Will Country Rock be able to pick up a clean victory without the reversal? Or will the LA Hustlers be able to win without having to cheat to do so? Tune in tomorrow, CW30 Memphis, Arkansas's Ritter Communications Tubetown, and CBS Jackson, as well as YouTube Premiere, where you can chat with all of us high noon Central Standard Time for Memphis Wrestling. We also have a singles match coming up in our feature. It is Big Trouble Ben Bishop, 6 foot, 12 inches tall. Yes, you heard that right. Yes, that's the way he wants it announced. 6 foot, 12 inches tall. But I'm telling you, he is a monster known as Big Trouble. And here's the thing. He's supposed to be taking on Martin, but Martin is MIA. He's nowhere to be found. And Jay Smooth is on the injury list. So now it's all up to Cross. Cross is going to be facing Big Trouble, Ben Bishop, 1-on-1. And I'm telling you, Ben Bishop's, he is tall. 7 foot tall. He's 6 foot 12 inches, 7 foot tall, taking on Cross, who's about 5 foot 11, almost said 5 foot 12, about 5 foot 10, 5 foot 11. So there's a big height difference there. I mean, Ben Bishop's able to step over the top rope. Over the top rope. He's huge. He's very athletic, very agile for his size. I would not be surprised one of these days to see him continue upon this journey in Memphis wrestling, finding himself in other promotions across the country, maybe even landing a huge contract. That's just how big of a star Ben Bishop is. But Cross is also a veteran of the squared circle. He could pull out some old tricks and secure a victory against Big Trouble, causing Big Trouble some trouble. We'll have to see tomorrow. And our main event, before we talk about our main event coming up next, let's talk about some great things coming up for Memphis Wrestling. Here it is on your screen if you're watching along. Saturday, June 11th, the All-Star Celebrity Basketball game is going to be taking place Saturday afternoon, so you can go to or find out details at Championship Wrestling Memphis or hthmemphis.org for that All-Star Celebrity Basketball game and youth basketball camp. Then Sunday, June 2nd, it is our television taping. The Women's Gauntlet for Gold 2 is going to be decided. We're going to find out who the new Memphis Wrestling Women's title is going to, as well as other matches to take place, including some of your favorite Memphis Wrestling superstars. Saturday, June 18th, it's Memphis Wrestling Saturday Night Fat Jitsu versus Gun Show. It's in Black Rock, Arkansas, benefiting the Black Rock Entertainment Committee. And at Dave & Buster's, it's our free watch party, June 26th, for AEW's Forbidden Door. A big thank you to our sponsor, Dave & Buster's there on Wolf Chase, for providing an opportunity for all of us to go enjoy some great wrestling that Sunday. And just announced, Sunday, July 10th, Memphis Wrestling returns to the WrestleCenter, 3296 Winbrook Drive, for our next scheduled television taping. Details to come on July 10th. You can find out more information on Memphis Wrestling, upcoming events, and information at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. And follow us on social at CW30 Wrestling, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and yes, even TikTok. You can find Memphis Wrestling. Some great upcoming events. We can't talk about upcoming events without talking about an opportunity for you to become a professional wrestler, a manager, a referee, or an announcer. If you want to train, here's how easy it can be. Do you have what it takes to be a pro wrestler? Prove it. Train with the best at our Memphis Wrestling WrestleCenter. Now enrolling at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com/training. We've got a few viewers here from, looks like from Vermont as well. Some great fans tuning in here on on TikTok, as well as our live platforms. We're broadcasting before the bell and even listening in now on streaming platforms everywhere where podcasts are heard. Our main event is a 5-star match in the making for the Internet Championship. Outlandish Zicky Dice is here, and he's going to introduce the Memphis Wrestling Internet Championship. So who's going to win that gold? It is going to be an explosive main event. It's a brand new title. It's going to be defended on Memphis Wrestling, not only in person at our television tapings, but on internet exclusive matches from events around the Mid-South and the areas in which Memphis Wrestling travels. You never know what is going to happen in the fastest hour of pro wrestling. You are going to be shocked at the ending of that main event match and who becomes the internet champion at Memphis Wrestling. Folks, it's the fastest hour in pro wrestling. It is Memphis Wrestling. And by the way, this is the fastest 15 minutes in pro wrestling with Before the Bell. I'm your host, Terrence Ward. Thank you so much for tuning in this week as we previewed episode 68, the Internet Championship match. Going to be live tomorrow, high noon, YouTube Premiere, and on broadcast stations around the Mid-South. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you every single time where our doors are open, 3296 Winbrook Drive at the WrestleCenter. On behalf of all of us and Memphis Wrestling, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Wrestling.